Welcome back to another Toltec pickups video. Labrat guitars in the lab, and today just a brief look at this wonderful bit of equipment that came in. A Hoffner Super Solid 2. I think these date at around 1962, 63, potentially. The Super Solid 3 had 3 pickups. This is a Super Solid 2 in this beautiful red checked lacquer, the classic Hoffner style neck with the stripe inlays, let's say, bound, a nice little badge that's stuck in there. Awesome looking tuners, very 60s, of course, with it being from the 60s. This came into me because it had some electrical issues. In further inspection, I found that it was both the pickups, which on this version are humbucking twin coils in these. A lot of these Hoffners of this size were just a single coil with a magnet along this sort of side here, touching these screws. This is a twin coil, so humbucking, quite mini, very small bobbins, so we used a very thin wire gauge to wind up to spec. One of the coils on the bridge, I think, was actually working still, so I got the measurement from that, doubled it really for both, matching both, and they're up to around, I think they're touching a 10k there. Ceramic, big bar ceramic magnet in there. All the fun of the fair. What I like about this is its quirkiness. It actually plays and stays in tune really well for a guitar of this age. Frets are what they are, very low and flat, but there's still playability on them. We gave them a good dressing as well and a good polish up. We replaced, well, what I say replaced, we put some of these tuning peg ferrules in there because they were missing, so we put 4 of those in. A nice quirky thing about these, the pots look very different. They're a big square pot with a circuit board almost. Bit of phenolic something on top which the terminals go to. Very unusual looking. The switch is a off switch, which is no pickups, and it's got pickup 1, pickup 2, and then both. So it's a 0, 1, 2, all. It's in this strange, like, sweeping semicircle, but the switch is essentially just a rotary. Once you take, when you see inside, it's just a standard rotary switch, but this lever is kind of at an angle. So the centre of the rotary is kind of here, really, but this is at a little angle, and it's pretty cool. And it works really well, versatile, ergonomic, you might say. It works really well. Happy with it. Sounds awesome now we've fixed it. We've wound the pickups. 0, of course, pickup 1, which we've got as a bridge. Pickup 2, which we've got as the neck. Very rich, of course, because of where it is laying on the string path. It's here. If we were to swap these around and put this one here, it would sound very much like this one. And then both on. The trim is a quirky little bit of gear as well. As you can see, the back, we took this back plate off here, and it's a big hunk of metal inside there. Big hunk of alley, I think. It won't be steel, I don't think, because of the weight. And everything just works. It does now. The bridge, slightly unfortunate that it does move, like when you take some of the Gretsch bridges off. So you've got to position that correctly for the intonation, of course. But it's a nice solid piece of metal. It's very clean. there is a ground wire which is just resting essentially for this string ground underneath this bridge, and then it just slips under the scratch plate, which the scratch plate is metal, of course. A thing that is a little bit of an annoyance with this is that you've got your cavity for the controls here and the switch, but there's no pickup cavities, so these just sit as they are on the wood. This is solid. There is a channel routed in the centre which goes up to switch for the lead wire from the pickup to come and sit in, so it's not getting squashed under this plate, but they just sit in the wood. You can't adjust the heights of these. They are what they are, and they are also not fixed to the scratch plate, so when you take the scratch plate off, these will just drop out. They're just freely in there. The only thing that keeps them stable is they sit into a route cut out for the size of the footprint and straight onto the wood. Very small screws holding the scratch plate on, slot head, but quite tiny. There's not a lot of thread on them. I think we only replaced one. We replaced one because it was missing. The rest are all original. It's got these nice plastic strap buttons in white. I love these tuning peg, the buttons, let's say, this crown shape with a nice sort of pearlescent, translucent look to them. Top of the headstock has got this plastic overlay on, which is slightly cracked there, but it's not going anywhere. And it's just a bit art deco style, art nouveau. Very thin little cutaway in the back there, and it's stamped 863 as a stamp on the back there. We do have a missing cap for this E-tuner there. That is completely missing, and I don't have any in my stock or spares drawer, unfortunately. Otherwise I'd have replaced that. I did have some of these years ago of this similar style for a Framus, I think, and that being German, right? These pickups, Hoffner Super, stamped Super, which that's the twin coil, right? And from the information I've garnered, 6162, type 511 or 511, and I think, from what I can gather, manufactured by Franz Pix, Franz Pix, Franz Pix, Franz P. Franz, this company stroke guy, awesome. I don't usually like getting things like this through because they are just, many of these old sort of guitars is a real lot of work goes into try and get them something like, but this one came together really nice. I think they are popularised by Mark Knopfler. Definitely used these at some point in his career, probably still may have some. That's something I'm not bothered about looking into, but Mark Knopfler has made these notable, and it just plays nice. It just sets up, fortunately, really nice. Back to pitch. So here is the Hoffner Super Solid 2 with two brand new humbuckers rewound to spec, as close as we can get, and that on the bench is beautiful and easy in it.